just want to give a quick thank you to all my awesome Patreons who really help to support the channel. If you're interested in joining Patreon yourself, the link is down below in the description box. You can also shop and buy some merch, and I would love to see you over on my Patreon, where you can access to movie reviews, adventure days, vlogs, and Patreon watch parties, and so much more content. Welcome, Butthead. It's time for another collection video. This first section right here is all about musical items from the Back to the Future, the musical in London that I've managed to see so far. Of course, it is coming to Broadway as I'm recording this video. But yeah, I have all sorts here, like posters, CDs, socks, kind of like little magnets, activity books. Also, you'll see some clothing as well here, and just many different items that I've managed to gather from the musical, including like programs and even some from the Manchester Opera House when it was originally there, when it was meant to have the 6-week period before COVID hit. Yeah, definitely a couple of cool items from the musical. Definitely hope to gather more in the future. Got a wide range of assortment of items here from the Playmobil line, which they've done the DeLorean, they've done advent calendars, they've done like little mini figure packs, they've also done kind of like the bigger versions originally of Doc and Marty, which you'll see towards the end. So yeah, anything Back to the Future wise in the Playmobil line as of now, I believe I've got every single one. I'm maybe actually missing one item if I remember rightly, but pretty cool overall. Couple of items here from the Toonstar toy range, including like money boxes and just little figurines, really nothing too crazy here. One of my favourite elements here of Back to the Future is the Lego section, and I used to actually work for the company Lego when I first got the first set, which was the original DeLorean, which I remember retailing about £35 and now goes for upwards of like 150 plus if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, some really cool just like Lego DeLorean sets here. We've also got the Lego Brickheads section, the also packs that they did for like Lego Dimensions as well. So definitely hope that they make more of these in the future. I'm hoping for some really bigger sets, but I think it all just depends on licensing and stuff. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But for now, this is my Lego Back to the Future collection. One of the more exciting elements in my collection here is the physical media section, which, yeah, believe it or not, I've actually got a sealed VHS edition of the trilogy. I also have it on Blu-ray, which you're going to see a couple of different ones here of like different editions, with like the Flux Capacitor edition, the kind of like the tin kind of steelbook kind of version editions as well. 4Ks, of course, the plutonium set. If you've been on the channel before, you will see that also here. And then towards the end of this section, what you will see is some CDs actually of like Michael J. Fox's Lucky Man book, the audio CD of that as well. Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Future from Michael J. Fox, and yeah, just so many kind of physical media items, some really cool collectibles in here as well. I've never taken any out personally to kind of display them as posters or anything, but yeah, definitely a really cool addition to the collection. a little bit of a random assortment here of Back to the Future 2 items here. So you've got like the hoverboard, you've got like little mini scales, you've got like the replica kind of like Mattel version as well, and just some other kind of futuristic items I kind of just wanted to showcase into one section here. I've also got a bust of Back to the Future 2 that I actually picked up from a horror Comic-Con convention, believe it or not, but I really love the bust. I think it's really well done, it's really well detailed, it weighs a ton as well, so definitely got to be careful where I store that in case it breaks any kind of shelves. But yeah, some really cool items here from Back to the Future 2. This little section right here is kind of just a random assortment of DeLorean items, whether it is actually kind of like a replica one, whether it's in like a packaging still that I haven't opened, a sticker, or even kind of building one out of kind of cardboard as extended at the end. Yeah, some kind of like cool little DeLorean items here as well, which you might have seen a couple of them meshed in the early sections like Lego and a couple of other ones coming up very shortly. This is probably going to be the most random section of the video, where it is just a random assortment of items, so to say. We've got like trading card boxes, the like little figurines and the mini mates, I believe they're called, and just a lot of other kind of random assortment of items really that I've collected kind of over the years and didn't really fit into other themes that's in this video, which of course you've got plenty more to see coming up and the ones that I've covered so far. But just the random assortments of items, they're like little like unique like little novelties, one-offs, kind of stuff here and there really, which I actually like collecting, but nowadays tend to collect more kind of like of the motor posters and kind of like clothing and stuff like that. But yeah, just enjoy this kind of random assortment. So in this section here, we've got comic books. So yeah, they actually did a big line of Back to the Future comics. I did collect a lot of them. I know I am missing some of them. I've got a couple of the compendiums, which are compiled versions basically of quite a few comics into just one book instead. Yeah, I've got definitely a wide assortment here. And before you all ask, no, I've not read any of these comics as of yet. And as I mentioned, I am probably missing some. So if I did decide to read them, I'll have to go back, look at the ones that I haven't got. But I know that they released quite a few of these, so I did collect a couple as I could. They were a little bit pricey, of course, as you can imagine, if you collect each and every single one. And yeah, I think that line's kind of stopped now, if I'm not mistaken. And then towards the end of this video, what you're going to see is actually a couple of books of Michael J. Fox focused instead. So this was around the time, I believe it was 2013, when he was making a comeback on TV of the Michael J. Fox show. And he was in a couple of magazines such as like Rolling Stones, Good Housekeeping, those kind of articles really. So it was really cool to see him get that kind of like exposure. And of course I found this kind of last item on eBay, which you'll see in a moment, which is a Michael J. Fox handbook. Yeah, I actually found this item and I thought, wow, this seems quite interesting. Basically, a little bit of a disappointment for you guys to an extent. This book is basically just Wikipedia pages printed into a book with Michael J. Fox's face on the cover of that book. A couple of cool items here, and kind of unique ones also, I guess you could say. So these items here that you're about to see are like just kind of like collector's books, collector editions ones as well, an actual book of like music sheets as well of the soundtrack for the film, which is quite unique. And then the last item that I really love is the official Panini sticker album as well from back when, which I really wish I was kind of born at that time, had that sticker book and collected it, but no, my luck, I probably would have threw it out later into the future, obviously not realizing maybe the value of this item. And yeah, you know, it's just a really cool kind of collector's piece. Up next is very unique range of Back to the Future clothing. So as I've gotten older, I've started to get more of the clothing. I usually wear it quite often as well. Some of these may not be ironed as such because I usually tend to iron things as I'm about to wear them. And yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm kind of like cramped for space in my house at the moment. But regardless of all of that, yeah, I have like t-shirts here, I have hoodies, and just some that's been like exclusive to Zavvi or in Primark, for example, that's available just in public shops, or even just some that's been made with only kind of so many made to an extent before they kind of discontinue the range. A lot of different items here, and really just love seeing kind of the variety that you have here with all the different stuff. One of my personal favorites has got to be the yellow hoodie. Really love that, but can't wear it in the summer, otherwise it'll just attract all the bees and flies, which, yeah, I definitely don't want. And we've got a couple of accessories here, which of course goes with the clothing. We've got lanyards, we've got belts, we've got the official kind of flux capacitor watch, which is still in the box, sunglasses, cologne, and also some really cool items here of like Aikido footwear, which they did like limited edition versions of. They did 2 or 3 designs. I believe I got 2 of the designs anyway, which you'll see right here. And of course, last but not least, to end this off, which you'll see, is some slippers. Cool little framed item here with a picture of Michael J. Fox when I met him in 2015, and also a little picture of my partner Emma made for one of my birthdays, which is a customized drawing. In this frame here, we've got a car park ticket from the original premiere in 1985, along with an original ticket, a signed picture by Christopher Lloyd, and a signed picture by Bob Gale, a little leaflet from the Back to the Future the musical in Manchester, and also an original storyboard from the original movie. Big shout out to Kelvin if you're watching. Coming up to the end here, and this item here is a signed Ultimate Visual History Guide, which is signed by Michael Clastorian, who I actually met in Southampton Comic Con, but I've also met him in London. A really cool guy, really pleasant to talk to as well, and this Ultimate Visual Guide is fantastic. fantastic. Absolutely recommend it if you don't own it already. The last item on the menu and in the collection is the signed original charity premiere program from 1985. The first one you just saw was an unsigned version, and the second one is one that I get to be signed by anyone who I made from the Back to the Future cast, including the likes of Bob Gale, Christopher Lloyd, Michael J. Fox, Huey Lewis, Claudia Wells, Harry Walters Jr., Don Fullerlove, James Tolkien, and many more. And this is definitely, if anyone was to ask me, Mike, what is your prized possession in your collection? Well, this program right here, guys, is my ultimate prized possession and an item that I absolutely love and adore, because these are quite rare, and also a lot of these were actually thrown out, as you can imagine, from 1985 up until now, but definitely a collector's dream. That's the end of the collection. Now make like a tree and get out of here.